Welcome to BladeBound Saga. My name is RiceKombo. Welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see, we have some extra faces. It's not just me and AJ today, as we are kicking off with Session 0 of our new campaign, Scapegoats Plunder. With that being said, I'll just have everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with the one that you know, and then slowly make our way around the table. So, AJ?
Hi, I'm AJ. You've seen me before. Yeah, I'm excited to play with a bunch of new friends here.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I am the creator of and the GM for the Faint Divinities here on YouTube or Twitch if you want to watch us live, a channel that is dedicated to running Daggerheart.
Hi, I'm AK. I am with the Pocket Dimension. We also have a channel here on YouTube and Twitch, as well as a growing community of nerds. We talk a lot about TTRPG and general neurospicy content.
And hello, I am Seth McKay. I float around YouTube as Seth of All Trades with a recently launched channel where I explore just all my different fancies that are ADHD fueled. See you around, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to segue back.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. You know, this is how tabletop RPGs are. Everyone just starts talking and then words come out. That being said, we're going to go ahead and introduce our characters, but we do have our brand new intro video for the campaign first. So let's roll that.
Welcome to BladeBound Saga, the Scapegoats Plunder. Shipwrecked on an island. Who are the survivors? Grick, the powder monkey. Chugsby, the lookout. Delia, the tiny tank. And Kora, the personality hire. Will they withstand the island's deadly secrets? Or become its next victim?
Welcome, everyone. This is our Session 0. It's just like any other Session 0, except there's just people at a table, and we're doing this in a more professional, semi-professional setting as best as we can as content creators. With that being said, I'll introduce the setting to the world here in a little bit, as we're going to jump into a prologue right after our connection questions, but I'm going to have everybody introduce their character. Let's kind of do this in reverse. Seth, you want to introduce your character first?
Why, yes, I do. My name is Chugsby. I am a Wanderborn Galapa Ranger. Chugsby is a large turtle folk looking guy. He's got kind of this sash and various wraps around his arms. He is the lookout on the ship. Likes to store, he has a bow that he has kind of crafted from within his shell that he stores in his shell, but pulls that out at a moment's notice. And often you will find accompanying him around the ship his little baby goat named Shriek. I think that's Chugsby in a nutshell.
AK?
Hi everybody. I am Delia. I am a Slyborn Fibbit. That's fairy ribbit. My dad was a dragonfly fairy, and my mom was a ribbit. Let's see, what do we need to know about Delia? She is little and green, with, kind of lots of spots all over her, and she's very, in fashion. She wears this kind of leafy corset. She's a vengeance guardian who is kind of our tiny tank. Our muscle is all about enforcing that karmic balance on and around our ship. And yeah, that's what I got. I'm good at wrapping it up, just like Seth, right?
Yeah. Rachel, what are you playing?
Hi, Hi everyone, I'm Kora, the personality hire, and I am an Inferis troubadour bard of a highborn persuasion. I'm going to be playing just your local bard. She does not really have a job on the ship. I don't think that she ever will. So she got picked up from a bar and has been sailing the seas with this rugged group of ruffians ever since. But I have a lot of fun tricks up my sleeve, and hopefully I can be helpful in some way, shape, or form. I'm betting more of a hindrance, though, but we'll see. Over to you guys.
Don't sell yourself short.
But you look good while doing it.
Listen, I sure do, and I really appreciate that from you, Delia. It means a lot coming from you.
And yeah, I'm playing Grick. He's our powder monkey. If it can go boom, Grick is gonna make it do so. He's a Ridgeborn fungal clank hybrid, which we have named as a funk. And he is a seraph. Yeah, he's all about explosives and chaos and just doing whatever he thinks is going to be funny at the moment.
Yeah. And I'm going to introduce another character, as he is an important NPC and going to be a part of our connection questions, as something that we do a little different here, and well, at least at my tables, is whenever we do connection questions, we let the GM kind of hop in as well by bringing in kind of a main NPC or whoever you're traveling with. It just so happens that I'm going to be playing, at least for a little bit of this, the captain of the ship, Captain Whit Daragos. He is a seasoned human pirate, the person who's leading the ship, roughly about 50 years old, very sun-kissed skin, and hardened from years of exposure to saltwater, wind, sun, and with just kind of dreaded black and silver hair. He is your stereotypical tough and rough pirate. And so, with all of us set up for the connection questions, this is how we're going to figure out who goes first. Let's all roll duality and see who goes first.
No pressure.
I got a 23 with
Nice.
fear, so I'm pretty sure.
23 with fear. I got an 18 with hope. Anyone else higher than 23 with fear?
No, 23 with hope. Oh no, not I'm so sorry. 13 with hope.
So, with that being said, then, Grick, go ahead and throw the first connection question at someone.
Okay. I'm going to throw this to our boy Chugsby. What is a hobby or interest we share that has nothing to do with fighting?
Hobby or interest has nothing to do with fighting. Think we have made like a little game, a little ship game out of little rocks that we've collected from different shores. Like little smooth stones, like skipping stones kind of thing. But it's almost like bowling. It's almost set up like a bowling lane, but we slide the rocks across the deck. And sometimes we'll set up like obstacles and stuff and just get as crazy with it or as elaborate as we can dream up.
It's like
Just
pirate
different.
shuffleboard.
There,
But,
yes, exactly.
With
There have
different things to hit,
definitely
though.
been explosives involved
Oh,
in
100%.
past games. With the two of
100%.
us. And that means it's me, right?
Yeah.
Turn, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna roll to see who I'm gonna ask a question to.
All right.
Ooh.
It's either gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got it in my head. That's a 5, 6, so it's coming to Kora. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, I like this question a lot. What elaborate prank did we pull on a rival adventuring party, and how did it become a tale of legend? And maybe that's like a rival ship or something instead of adventuring party? Something like that.
I want it to be naked related.
Of course you do.
I would like it to have been that we were in a city of some kind and we saw them and heard at the local tavern that they were hunting down a treasure that we were en route to find. So I, went up and I was just telling them about this lovely little spa that I had heard of in the area, and we had kind of talked about it. And fortunately, we traveled over there right when they went in. And you snuck in, put all of their clothes under your shelf, Oh, and then we over to the ship, Scooby-Doo style, you know what I'm saying? And just like waved and strung up their clothing from the mainsail and everything.
Amazing.
A thing of legend in the town. I definitely have like 3 songs inspired from it, you know?
I love it. Fantastic. Now we just got to figure out what that rival crew's name is.
The dumb jerks that didn't win that day.
The dumb jerks who failed.
We just call them the DJs for short.
The DJs.
DJs.
The DJs.
Hang the DJ, hang the DJ. No.
Amazing.
Okay. So I want to use I just love girl bonding, and so I would like to ask Delia a question. My question for you, Delia, I want to make us basically sisters in this game.
Yes.
Why do you trust me so deeply?
I think because you immediately hopped on board with Delia's shenanigans. So, like, without missing or skipping a beat, like, you've always got her back whenever she gets in, somebody wants to get her in trouble for the pranks and things like that. Like, the best one was you and I went around the ship and we replaced everybody's weapons with, like, vegetables and other ordinary objects. And, like, Captain was really mad about that one. Really, really mad.
You know, it makes sense because we did, in fact, get into a bit of trouble the next day, sure, but we returned them as quickly as we could, and we did get out unscathed.
It was all harmless fun. And that's, like, you kind of see her just need to be a little bit of a rabble-rouser to, like, burn off some of her energy, and you match that energy so perfectly every time.
Delia, I really think that you should learn an instrument. I think that you would make a fantastic bard.
Maybe like the triangle, or like just something I can like bang. Okay.
Oh my god, incredible.
I will be asking the captain then. What lie have you told me about yourself that I absolutely believe?
Captain Daragos one day walked up to you all, pulling Delia aside, and just out of sheer curiosity, just said, "Did you know that Grick stuffs his pants with his own bombs?" Just to see and incite the good old pirate deceit. Even, just a little harmless joke. But yeah, you never, I would assume that you never see Grick the same way ever again.
Plot twist, that's not a lie. Obviously, that's not a lie. Where do you think I'm going to store them all?
Here's the thing, is that it was supposed to lie, have you told me about yourself? So how are you gonna, like, you telling me that lie about Grick, how are you gonna tie that back to you? Yeah.
No, so I totally misinterpreted the question. Okay, so yeah. So it would be something along the lines of, you then like have this. I would say that like now it's like you just look at the captain just a little bit different, seeing if he's stuffing anything down his pants. Just might have a little bit of extra like pushing for the cushion every so often that you kind of notice. It was probably something along the lines of like he said this, but like you kind of picked up that he was really talking about himself.
Got it. Yep.
He's trying to deflect.
He's trying to deflect.
Big booty Judy. Just big booty Judy.
Big booty
So-
house.
To Grick, then, the captain would ask you for his question. What is something that he gave you that he doesn't really think much of, but you hold dear?
I think it's a torch. It's just an unlit torch. It was the very first thing that coming upon the ship that you gave him because it was dark outside, and that torch is basically what he uses to set off any explosive, all of his explosives. So it's like one of his most prized possessions is that one torch.
That is so much cuter than I thought this was gonna go.
But I could like.
Rick's a god.
What if like that a torch? How long has it been in circulation? And is it appropriate that maybe it's been burning down, but the rest of us keep replacing it for you so that you think it's the same one?
It's adorable.
That's so great.
Yes,
That's
You know,
yes,
like-
it can be.
That's so great.
Chugsby,
I've
you've
had
got
the
watch
same-
tonight. You know.
I've had the same torch for 6 years.
You think it's a magic
incredible.
torch
Yeah.
on the ruse. I
Whenever
love
you-
that.
We
Yes.
go into a cave and you're like, "Don't worry, guys, I've got it." And we're like,
And the best part is the fact that you're like an explosives expert.
but haven't spotted a mundane torch.
Don't worry, guys. I have the captain's torch.
I got it. I love
That's
this.
fine.
That's awesome.
We're really just a pack that has each other's back, huh?
Yeah.
We really,
There you
yeah, I
go.
love
The
that.
backpack.
The backpack.
So, let's do round 2. Let's do new rolls. Let's do new rolls.
Okay.
Does everyone roll again?
Whee!
Here we go.
That's not gonna do it.
Mm.
Big 5.
7 with fear.
16 with hope.
Okay.
That's an
10
8
with
with fear
fear.
for me.
Okay. Seth.
I'm up.
Chugsby. You're
That's
going
right.
first.
Okay. I'm going to ask Delia a question. Delia, what natural landmark did we discover together, and what makes it special?
Like continuing on this train of like us discovering mundane things and thinking that they're very special somethings. So in one of the ports of call that we were in, there was just this very beautiful flowering mulberry bush that for whatever reason you and I, like, it happened to be like there was like this like gate around it. I don't know if it was maybe like set up there for like some kind of an event, and so but it looked like it was being like gated off. And so we think that this is a tremendous, like, the lucky mulberry bush of Bush Bay. And like we just we think that that's it, and we look forward every time we dock in Bush Bay to like visiting the infamous
Bay.
mulberry bush of Bush Bay.
How hilarious that we found a special bush in Bush Bay.
Who would have thought?
What the fuck?
that's
Bush
how it
Bay
got its
have
name.
bushes.
Bush Bay has bushes, but we
I-
found the bush of Bush Bay.
I think
bush
this
of
is
Bush
not
Bay.
true at all when y'all talk about it. I think y'all were very drunk that day. Something is not adding up here.
Captain's over here. It's like, bush. There are bushes in Bush Bay.
No, but it was a special bush, I'm telling you. It was
It was
glorious.
the mulberry bush of Bush Bay. You don't understand.
It's so
There
great.
was something magical about it.
Delia.
Yes, so I get to go now. Let us go over to Grick, because I feel like Grick is going to need this one. How did I save your life the first time we met?
Gosh, only the first time?
Yeah, just that one
Okay,
time. The
just
first
that
time I
one
saved
time.
your life, how'd that go? What was that story like?
So, I think we were, probably right after leaving Bush Bay, we come across some other unwieldy type pirates, and probably they weren't going to fire on us. They're probably just going to, sail on by, no problem. But they looked at me funny, so I had to launch the cannon their way. Had to do it. Also, what I didn't do was open up the hatch to where the cannons come out. So I think that Delia is just happened to be standing there. Probably just wasn't even just a coincidence. Delia just saw that the hatch was closed and just simply goes, "Hey, you should open that first." And that was like, "Oh my, Delia, you saved my life." I just gives you a big hug and forgot to launch the cannon, so nothing ever happened from that event.
We just both got distracted by that.
Yeah,
I
I
love
just
it.
got super distracted by the fact that you saved my life from my own demise.
Perfect.
That's great.
Amazing.
Okay, so I will go to Kora then. What crime did we commit together that bonded us in trust?
I love that every connection that I have is based in shenanigans and law breaking. That's fantastic for me. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you.
Read,
All right.
read the room.
Law breaking, huh? Let's see. What laws am I feel like you are the explosives guy, right? And we know that I gotta have some sticky fingers. Can it have been a vault heist? You
Of
son of
course.
a bitch, I'm in style. Could we,
You
like,
son of a bitch.
you son of a bitch, I'm in, Like, and again, I would like to, it have been one of those things where I approached the captain and I was like, listen, I really think we could do it. I really do. If you would just, fine, I won't do it. And then later that night I was like, hey, Grick, and I was thinking, it's just a shame that there's this whole vault and nobody's, and we snuck in together. You, like, through the sewers, it was probably pretty gross. You blew a hole in through the wall, and we just made out like bandits. But then we lost it all in the sewers, and it went down,
Always.
flushed into the thing.
And it's gone.
We've
And
just
that's when we
pretended
agreed
it never happened.
Yeah, it just never happened. We don't talk about it. The captain can never find out that we did all this for nothing.
That's right. Yeah, we have one coin from it that we flip. Now we flip that coin when there's like a thing that we have to decide about.
Done. Love that.
Fun.
That's great.
All right, great. So it's my turn. I think
You have Captain.
I think I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be the captain.
Speaking of that heist,
It's speaking of the heist. Delia never speaking of the heist. I've definitely told Delia though, just to be clear. Delia is fully aware.
Are we
The
talking
captain
about the heist?
definitely knows.
Everyone, stay on the iced hay, all right?
New brewery in Bush Bay, Heist Brewery. So
That's
good.
the one, Delia. You are so smart. Okay. Let's see. I would say, what over the top story about my infernal ancestors did I tell, and how did we both start using it as a joke during our travels?
I like the idea that every single member of this crew reminds you of someone from your family. And it's every time we talk about members of the crew, you started off by saying, like, speaking of the devil, he acts just like this person. Speaking of the devil, he looks just like this person. And it's the idea that, like, every member, like, somehow brings you back to, like, I know that's Uncle. And then words in Infernus that Captain does not understand. Yeah, sure.
Speak of the devil is genius. Wow,
Yep.
incredible.
That's
Well
great.
played, so good. I love that so much. And remember, I'm highborn, so they're definitely like related to people that somewhere in the world are doing very rich people things.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. It's wonderful.
And then I think this closes me off again to Chugsby.
Yes.
Chugsby, we sneak off somewhere at night. What do we do?
We sneak off at night. We grew
This
up.
could go so
yeah,
many
it's
places.
like 2 eligible bachelors and a goat. Go.
Well, a little bit of fun backstory. We did know each other as youngsters. I was a little older, but not by much, until a number of years later, where some weird time shit happened. And
Just hop in a portal into a Fey realm.
yeah. And now I'm like 30 years older than you. And I think we sneak off to share. I have a very limited special supply of some sort of Fey liqueur. And we just sneak off to kind of have that moment of nostalgia and reminiscence, and I tell you tales of the Feywild and all of that stuff. And we share that, just a little bit of it, so that it doesn't go too quickly.
Yeah. It only takes a little bit with Fey stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we're all tripping, Shriek's over there, and next thing you know, he's an elephant, and we don't know what happened. Alright, let's do one final round of connection question. Let's re-roll, see who gets the highest.
Right.
Whee!
Oh, that's a critical with 12s.
Man.
I don't think you...
Me too!
Wait, no, wait, crit with 12?
shot.
Wait, did you guys both crit with 12?
I swear.
No way.
Yes, literally the same.
don't know if that's
Who is going to take me places in this round?
Okay.
That's insane. That means we get a connection question together. Wait, we already have one, don't we?
Rollies.
Okay.
It's
Let's
always-
for the sake of no, let's do this. Let's say for the sake of this one, what
That's crazy.
epic adventure was a good old Chugsby Kora to kick us off? What is a good old Chugsby Kora adventure that you guys went on?
Chugsby,
Adventure.
can you take off your shell? That's not possible, right? They can't. Galapa cannot take off their shells, right?
It's like a part of my body, you know? Like my
I
bones
thought
are
so.
grown into it.
Listen, I was just checking.
I mean, it could
I
be
mean,
Herb
it's
from over the hedge and
not an
just kind of
uncommon
pops it off,
question.
you know.
Not an uncommon question is wild. What would we do together? Like, cause it has to be epic on double 12s. The whole
Yeah.
rule is you gain a hope. get rid of a stress, and you get what you want and a little bit more. What do I want but a little bit more? I want money. I want... No! I want fame! I want fortune and fame. Could I
want answers.
Do you want... Okay, great. All right, great. I'm thinking...
There's a dark past to Chugsby that we do not know about. Something happened in the Feywild.
Yeah, the Feyrealms really messed him up.
The glasses just... like the anime glasses. Okay. Your voice is reminding me of Back to the Future Marty McFly. I want fame and fortune. What if I got it, we all of us got a stage performance as a distraction, kind of like the Von Trapp family at the end of, The Sound of Music.
Yep.
But Chugsby, you've been holding back that you actually are just incredible on some instrument of your choice.
Ooh.
And you saved the day. Show me what you got style.
What is Chugsby's most proficient instrument?
Well, I was trying to see if I had already written something down.
Please be the bongos, please be the bongos, please be the
I'm
bongos.
all.
I think so.
Spoons.
Y'all know
Clom.
Chugsby just sings the dumbest little songs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it is a total shock when he's actually super skilled at this thing. And I think
It's freestyling.
it's free. Yeah, no, definitely not.
I have to
That's
make
too much
the
pressure
joke.
on me.
This joke appeared in my head, so I must make it now. Are y'all all familiar with the theremin, an instrument called the theremin?
Yeah.
So listen, are you ready? Are you ready? Terrapin on a theremin.
No, that's so great.
And now we go to the terrapin.
Yeah, I just break it out of my shell. I normally keep
But
it
it's not
secreted away.
It's not a theremin. It's actually just shriek behind a curtain.
That's so great.
Yeah, 100%.
Man.
Incredible.
I'm so down for this. All right.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
We
Terrapin
rocked
on a
that,
theremin. Endless inspiration for that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
no,
this
100%.
actually feeds into one of my experiences.
So-
one of my experiences is famous overseas. In that town, we are all famous over there.
Yes.
Should we just go through and talk about
Especially
how we
like
made this performance epic? What was our part?
Yeah,
instead
you
of
know what?
connection
We don't
questions?
need to do connection questions. This is Daggerheart. We can do whatever we want.
Facts.
Yeah, what did you bring to the table, Grick?
So, contrary to popular belief, everyone would think Brick's gonna bring the pyrotechnics and all the fireworks. Wrong. Grick's playing the washboard.
Yeah.
Just in the back corner. He's just sitting there scratching this thing. And then I think eventually he actually kind of will wander off and then we'll make something go boom in the background. I don't know. Grick doesn't nothing holds his attention very long, so he is fantasy ADHD, so it's great.
Delia, what did you bring?
I just got the best vision of what I did. If we're basing this on other things that have inspired us, the movie Miss Congeniality, when
Is it the baton?
no, it's
Okay,
not the
okay.
baton. When Sandy B wheels out the glasses and her little dirndl, and yeah, so Delia's just in the back with just and it's running around the room and flying around the room on just everybody's beer glasses.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah.
gotta pair so well with the
With the
shriek theremin.
with the
Yeah.
theremin.
Are we
for
not
sure.
effectively a Zydeco band at this point, guys?
Yeah.
I'm
Guys,
loving it.
Yeah.
Why are we pirates? We should just go
Yeah.
start a band.
I think
Yeah.
we
What
did
are we
for a
doing?
solid week,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, this definitely happened.
The
Yeah.
thing she's been working on the ship since, though, she's just really into glassware music. So she's been practicing cups, from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
Getting the percussion session
think
going
what-
on that.
Breaks every other cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what broke us out of our week-long stint as musicians was that heist where Shriek got locked in the vault, and we had to go back for him.
Or Shriek.
God damn it, Shriek! We were almost famous forever. My parents would have been proud of me.
And to add the last bit of flavor, I just imagine Captain did not take part in any of this. But for the first time, you see Captain singing. As he doesn't normally partake in any sea shanties. but he, being the proud captain dad of the ship, he just sings along with everyone that one time, and he does not want anybody to speak of this ever again. So, are you guys ready to?
Dad.
Are you guys ready to play some Daggerheart?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the Slanderer's Code. A collective of independent pirate crews who swear no loyalty to any nation, only to follow the code, a way of life and respect to those who sail the free seas amongst pirate folk. The crew of the Scapegoat, the ship you are on, having sailed under the banner of Captain Wit Daragos, were making their way back to Jagmaw, the capital of the Slanderer's Code. Their journey had been long, but the promise of treasure and plunder had rewarded them after defeating an undead who briefly possessed Captain Daragos. You, as the crew, set sail back for home. But fate had other plans. A storm of immense proportions. One unlike anything you had ever encountered. Winds howled like banshees. The sky churns into a dark mass as it is far too late to turn around, as it's moving towards you all. Chugsby, what do you see? What is the source of this storm from afar?
Chugsby looks out, cocking an eye back. I think in the center of the storm, there's a large humanoid shape. Only for a moment.
This is unlike anything you've encountered. Hearing stories of these beasts, these titans, these beings, it's undoubtedly, as you get closer, one of this world's old gods who lingers amongst the seas, only rumored to be the source of ancient hurricanes of past. You're at the wrong place at the wrong time. As the captain kind of takes up from his captain's quarters, opening up, and it's like, what's going on with the seas as everyone's kind of scrambling and shaking around. Delia, you managed to you're at the kind of top of the floor looking and kind of at individuals who are kind of just responding. How is everyone responding? You see members of the crew jumping up and around in a crazed chaos.
Yeah, so she would immediately snap into almost kind of like project manager mode and start to get like real bossy girl about this. Because like the way that they're handling this is just not very efficient, so and just like getting everybody to their stations and situations in the chaos.
Yeah, make a presence check for me. As in the midst of all this, everyone's kind of scrambling. No one's really here at the present-minded, and no one's taking direction, but you jump forth.
Hey,
Can I
Double 12s. Double 12s.
spend a hope to add my experience, all the small things, kind of using my tiny self to really bolster this moment?
Yeah, in the bit, you take the breath of your lungs, expending it out with all your energy. As you croak, what did you roll?
I rolled a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. With
17.
hope.
With hope. As you do so, immediately the crew kind of straightens up. Yes, Delia, okay, what should we do first? As they look to you, dropping everything all at once, and not really sure if they're going to withstand a storm of this size.
And even though Allison doesn't, Delia would know, like, what should the sail be doing right now? So I think that would be the first order of business, is getting the sail into the position it should be in for a storm.
Yeah, immediately the command should be to close it, as to not kind of be carried by the storm, the winds, the sail not being kind of swayed by the rushing winds from left, right, back, forth, and center. As you say so, the crew begins kind of climbing up the rigging to grab a hold and kind of pull down some of the sails. With that, Kora, what are you doing this time? You're not above deck at the moment, as it's never meant for someone like you to lift a finger. What are you doing?
I would say that from below deck, I had prepared to run up the stairs up to the upper deck and everything, but because I know that usually as soon as something's getting really hectic, my job is to rally the troops, but I could hear Delia already taking that on. And so instead, I come up kind of clambering through the stairwells, rocking back and forth. And as I come up, I look to the stern of the ship and I see a huge wave coming up around on top of it that would collapse on top of the ship. Can I cast Time Lock on it as I pull out my viol, which is like a violin, and I push it towards the storm?
Describe to me like what the source of your magic, like where does that come from within?
Sure. So because I am in Ferris, I would say that a lot of my abilities are, I get stuck in one voice. A lot of it is going to be in Ferris natured and driven, so fire, and a little bit coming from The Devil Went Down to Georgia, coming from my fingertips that imbues the bowstrings, and as I sweep back down with it and blast it at it, it is just an arcane rip of dark chaotic fire that crashes into that wave, locking it in place.
Yeah, go ahead and make the spellcast roll for Time Lock.
Okay. I would like to, please, may I add, can I add, because this is bardic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm singing and adding that into it. Could I add personality higher, my experience into it?
Certainly.
Okay, fantastic.
Certainly.
All right, perfect. All right, so here we go. That is go. Oh, it's good. 17 with hope.
17 with hope. As you begin to play this music, the infernal, like the raging inferno of infernal energy begins to kind of crackle as it kind of grabs a hold and kind of mimics the wave in front of you. You see the wave grow still. This kind of red, purplish, streaming water now kind of locked in place, giving you enough moments for the captain, who's right at the steer of the ship, spins it around to try to avoid the remaining waves, to just go around it. At this point, there's no room to turn back, just to go around and weather it. That being said, Grick, as you're in your little tinker room, the bombs kind of moving left and right, you manage to finally get a hold, stop everything from rolling and getting them secured in various nets or chests. What are you doing? From where you're seeing under deck, you kind of walk down to where all the cannons are left and right, noticing some of the people that you've trained are now kind of holding them down, but it's struggling to manage. What do you do?
Yeah, I will have my partner, I guess you can call him, first mate, whatever, my assistant. He's a giant fellow, and I just yell at him, and I go, Borg, lock down those cannons now.
Yes, sir. Locking down cannons now! As he kind of just jumps up and kind of wanders over, kind of shoves a cannon off to the side. He kind of takes the chains, beginning to lock it into place fairly easy. This is your first mate. He's 100% loyal to everything that you're doing. With that being said, as you kind of have the cannons mostly in lock, what are the next steps, Grick?
I will give kind of the commands to just whatever crew I have down there. It's like, you guys basically say, make sure we don't lose a single piece of artillery in this storm, and I'll take Borg with me, and we're actually going to head up to the oars, and we're going to start to paddle. Since our sails are up, and they're closed rather, we're going to try to paddle our way around the storm.
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check for me as you guys begin fixing into your place. Borg able to kind of grab a hold of things and start pulling and pushing. Chugsby,
can I use tactician to help an ally?
Sure, certainly.
It's been a hope. So when I do that, you can also add one of my experiences to your roll, which in this case really only makes sense to have clear eyes, crow's nest, can't lose. As I'm calling out from the crow's nest, kind of where the waves are coming from, and just sharing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, easily done.
Also get to add +2.
+2
with the help.
Yeah, we'll say that even from where you're standing in the crow's nest, there's like a tube that you guys have affixed down to at least the lower deck. Grick and you guys are screaming at each other as Chugsby's just like, wave to the left, or whatever ends up, whatever Chugsby ends up saying. But yeah,
Yeah, we've got an old one. Look out!
Yeah, so you said a +2? I don't know if it's gonna help much. I got what was that? 4, 5, 6, 7.
Did you
8,
roll your
9.
help as well?
Do I get advantage too? No,
That's-
just a +2, right?
Just when I help an ally, which grants.
So
advantage.
you do get you get the +6, but then you also add the
Oh, I get a
experience on
D6
top.
too.
Yep,
Okay.
D6 on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I say?
What
9?
kind of check is that? Just for it was
Strength.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 13, and I'm gonna actually use a prayer dice, and I will bump that up to 16 with hope.
16
Went
with
from a
hope.
4 to 16 in that somehow.
Numbers.
Numbers.
So, 16 with hope. As you and Borg kind of grab a hold of each of the sides of the oars, each of you having at this point 2 separate oars on each side of the ship, moving and maneuvering. I'm hearing, fortunately, due to the words of Chugsby, you're glowing blind being downstairs, so you're completely reliant on your lookout at the top. But with that, you guys are able to kind of shift and maneuver as a wave is about to hit to the right. You guys are to the left. You shift the boat in a way that it kind of absorbs the wave. Kind of as you move up around this wave. It's at this point Captain says, "You guys are doing great. What the hell do we do with that thing?" As he just kind of turns the rudder off to get back on track. And at this point, your guys are coursing directly for this ancient titan, this god of old. As at this point, Chugsby, you take notice. In the midst of this spinning storm, he looks out and he locks eyes with you. Your eyes locked with a god for the first time in your life. What is your response?
I think Chugsby is just fully locked in, just kind of frozen in this moment. Yes, in fear, in awe, in just experience. And I don't think it's until the little goat next to him shrieks out, and in fear, this baby goat, who's actually a puffer goat, just inflates like a puffer fish with this shrieking cry. I think that's what snaps him out. And it takes him a moment to like pull himself back to reality and realize what is happening. He's completely stopped sending calls down to the crew and is having trouble sort of processing it all at the same time.
Yeah. With that, your moment of indecision, the Titan lifts his hand as you see a storm cloud above the scapegoat. And the next moment strikes you on the crow's nest. I need you to make a agility reaction roll for me.
I'm just gonna get agility reaction roll. It's gonna be an 18 with hope.
18 with hope. You manage to kind of see this coming, noticing that the clouds above you are about to strike. You jump off with Chugsby in hand, this puffer goat, kind of in a football cuddle or hold, as you jump and reach for one of the masts and the rigging, kind of pulling it down and kind of trying to swing. You manage to kind of maneuver yourself around. However, as you do so, the strike on the crow's nest kind of riddles down the bottom, and you do see that portion of the mast crack. At this point, I'm going to drop a countdown here. Our countdown is now set to 5. So, that being said, who would like to act? As Grick, you see kind of lightning kind of just shoot out. You guys are able to dodge just ever so slightly out of the way as it kind of goes through the metal piping that you guys use to communicate. Delia, the crew, unsure as to what to do, no longer able to pull the sails up. And Delia, just making your way across.
Making my way. One thing that Delia does want to do is go unstoppable.
Yeah.
So that die is down now.
Describe to me what it looks like when Delia goes unstoppable.
Yeah, she's a fibbit. She's pretty small, and you see it does. We don't know if she's actually growing or just gives the appearance of it. But these she has these translucent dragonfly wings rimmed in blue, and everything just goes like a little bit steelier, a little bit darker on her. Her eyes cloud, and she just kind of normally this happy-go-lucky big smile on her face just drops as she kind of puffs herself up in this moment.
As you go unstoppable, anything that you're wanting to do and following up, you take this form. What is your action?
So, the light, was it lightning that hit the crow's nest?
Mm-hmm.
Is anything falling? Is anything going to?
It is. The crow's nest mast is currently like tipping at this point. It hasn't fully broken and hit the ship quite yet, but it is falling.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure that I get up under that and prevent it from falling on anyone, kind of protecting as much of the boat and my fellow crewmen as I can.
Make another strength check for me.
Okay. That is going to be 29. That is going to be a 12 with hope.
Okay, 12 with hope. You manage to kind of get it up, get up to the point where it's starting to fall. It kind of breaks off, and right now it's only being held by the rope. It begins to kind of swing around and spins around. Eventually, kind of hits the other portion of the mast that stayed upright.
Now,
however,
here's a question.
Yeah.
When I'm unstoppable, I'm able to add the current value of my unstoppable die to my damage die total. I know I wasn't doing damage here.
It would kind of you're trying to stop it from falling, so not quite damage.
Yep.
But you do manage to save it from dropping on top of members of your crew. As just having it slowed down in that way, shape, and form, it does eventually kind of separate from the little bits of twine that's left, and it does drop onto the ship, but everyone's able to move out of the way. No loss of life as of now. However, that is the countdown dropping down to 4.
I would like to rally. Seeing Delia do this and kind of underneath the weight of this, and just I can see the sweat coming across her brow, I again step up and I shout across, Delia, you can do it! Everyone, we faced worse before. Yeah, we have. We certainly have. You can do it. And I'm going to begin playing a song. I'm going to use that as my rally action. Everyone is going to now, remember guys, this gives you each a rally die. So now, whenever you make a check, you have a D6. You have that to use and add to basically anything. It's a action roll, reaction roll, damage roll, or clear stress equal to it, okay?
Captain sits here. It's like, when the hell did you guys fight something bigger than a god? As he continues steering on, trying to hold on to the rest of the ship.
You're not helping! And I'm playing a song. Will you allow me to also start going into the thematic of this moment, a heartbreaking song to give all allies within close range of me a hope?
Yeah, easily. You guys begin kind of, everyone at this point, whether it's above, below deck, everyone, you know where everyone's at. As you begin playing into the hearts, everyone begins to hear this song as everyone gains a hope. Yeah, as everyone gains a hope in this encounter. That being said, the countdown will drop to 3 from this.
Oh my god.
As you see the Titan begin to kind of lift up, and you begin kind of what forms are rushing waves as he's just sending torrents of waves towards you. It's becoming very difficult, at least at this point, to steer. Grick, how do you respond to the motion of significantly more tumbling, going back and forth as you feel the pushes of a torrent hitting the front of the ship?
So you'll see Grick, who by himself is just a small little fungrel, and you'll see him climb into his clam shell of a mech, and he's gonna yell down to the fire pit, as we call it. Said, "All right, laddies, ready the cannons. We're gonna blow this thing out of the water." And I would like to send a command to fire all the cannons at this thing.
Yeah. Make we'll say it's a presence check here.
Can I add my experience, make it go boom?
Certainly, as this is certainly cannon and boom related.
Okay. That is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and you'll see a basically a puff of black smoke start to pour from my mech as I use another one of my prayer dice, and I'm gonna add a 3 to that. So what I say, 16, so it's 19 with hope.
19 with hope. So, firing at this, you manage to kind of take into, rather than fighting the waves itself, you kind of bring the oars in. You kind of take one of the waves that kind of like to shift your position and kind of get it to where the boat is almost tilted. Everyone up top kind of holding on to whatever they can as the boat kind of almost falls. But you've calculated this enough. As it kind of goes up on the left side of the boat, you spot just barely out of one of the cracks the faintest bit of this god's foot, and you kind of readjust quickly your the members of the fire pit and kind of just pull their cannons up and fire. As you do so, it kind of blasts into, you fire 3 shots on that side of the ship, 3 of them hitting this being still standing.
Oh, we're attacking? Fun.
So, as you do so, the captain says, "I guess we're attacking," and he says, "Grick, damn it!" And he pulls this wheel off to the other side to really kind of course connect and continue to head towards the eye of the storm.
What else are we supposed to do right now, Captain?
Delia's gonna start flying if Chugsby wants to do anything as Delia gets in there.
Sure. Delia, you're making your way towards this god in the sky?
I sure am.
Okay. Go ahead and make an agility roll for me,
Okay.
as he is fairly high up there.
Okay.
And you've dabbled in this height, but
Yep.
not in your normal elevation.
Okay. That's a crit. 2 8s.
You manage to kind of, like, almost like opening like a fey gate. You kind of port through, and you hear kind of like you see Delia move faster than you hear her croak. As she appears in a moment, Captain says, "Oh, damn it," as she just under his breath, and says, "Just hit him hard!" So, Chugsby.
I think Chugsby is just going to mark a stress as kind of in this action of kind of repelling from the breaking, tearing mast, is going to use deft maneuvers. I can mark a stress to move anywhere within far range without making an agility roll. And essentially what that looks like is just this extreme aptitude, just being on ships his entire life and kind of just swinging down ropes and sliding, kind of hits the deck, goes up onto a shell, and then spins up the stairs and just lands next to the captain. All right, old friend. What do you need? What do you have me do?
Could be better.
Yeah?
It'd be better if we could see what's going on the sides, but, without the crow's nest, ship's seen better
A
days.
little more difficult, yes.
So, here. I mean, if...
But, hey, we are the scapegoat, are we not? We shall escape. Escape?
I don't know if that's what this means, but
Yeah.
certainly if that's what you think.
In this
All right.
moment, it's what it means, baby.
As Delia, you see what looks to be this Titan. As Chugsby makes his way to the captain, Delia, this Titan, eye levels down to you. Just gonna take his finger and flick you off. Does a
Rude. That I'm going to because I'm flying, I can mark a stress before an adversary's attack roll to increase my evasion by 2.
15
Yeah.
plus 7. As he hits you, he hits you for 31 damage.
Okay. That's okay, because I'm unstoppable, so my armor score is increased, so I only have to burn 1 armor slot to bring that down to major.
And you are knocked to far range as
What's
he
your
knocks
armor
you
score?
90 feet away. As he knocks you 90 feet away. So, with that being said, Kora, Delia,
10.
seeing the Titan smack Delia across, either one of you have a response?
I have one other question.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So, she was far from me, I guess, because she's up there with this god, right? But as she gets near to me, like, I have arcane deflection. I can spend a hope to completely negate any incoming damage from a single attack to me or an ally very close to you. Would the damage hit when he started the hit, or
Probably when he started the hit.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
Probably
okay.
when he started the hit.
All right, okay.
It's a giant finger flame.
I'm gonna...
Pew!
Who's going?
I mean, Delia's gonna start flying. Like she kind of
going?
like she's
going?
like she goes, how rude, and immediately
Okay,
Yeah.
bat out of
If you're
hell
going-
starts
back
flying
towards
back in.
him?
Yeah.
I want to lock eyes with you, Delia. Are we doing this?
Doing this. Are we
All right.
tag teaming?
I'm gonna cast Arcane Door to get up there first.
Okay.
And I want to be like, I have to roll to see if it works.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna put in Bar Fighter. Does that work? My experience of Bar Fighter.
This one
It's
might be a
okay if
stretch,
not,
but
it's okay if not.
I'll allow it since it's in the middle of this pseudo
All
combat.
right. Okay. All right. And all right. So this is gonna be. That is quite good. Now here's the thing, right? 19, 20. It's a 21. It would be with fear. However, I am an Inferus. So when I roll with fear, I can mark 2 stress to make it a roll with hope instead. I'm instead gonna make it a 21 with hope.
Okay.
So
Easily done. You make it up.
okay. And just FYI, if we are keeping our hope from our little side thing before, then I'm now at max hope.
Okay.
So I would like to, as I looked at Delia and she begins flying, I race up to the prow of the ship and step through a glowing portal that appears right in front of me and step out onto the giant shoulder, and I'm standing there looking across at you, Delia. Tag team roll?
Tag team roll. Are you initiating or am I? Because I've got the hope for it, or you do.
I mean, I have full hope if you'd rather me use it so that
Okay.
you don't have to blow. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll expend 3 hope.
So do I need to roll agility to get back up?
You would need to roll an agility to get back up, so go ahead and make an agility.
Okay.
You still
I'm
have
gonna
your
Try to
rally
do-
die, right?
If you're doing it with melee, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I? Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good. 22 with fear.
You do easily make it up there.
And I mean, as I come in hot, if you'll let me, I want to
Yeah,
like
go
start
ahead and
swinging with
make
my.
the roll. What does this tag team roll look like from the two of you?
All right. I am. This is a point of contention with me, is that I have like arcane abilities and stuff. As a GM, will you allow me to do arcane abilities as part
Yeah.
of the tag team?
Whatever
Yeah.
you want to roll or whatever you're doing, it's just the one action plus
Okay.
the other person's
Yep.
action.
So
However it looks like combined. That's
Yep.
the beauty of Daggerheart, baby.
I am using my deadly focus ability. Once per short rest, I can apply all my focus towards a single target. Choose that target until you attack another target. You defeat the creature. The battle ends. I'm adding to my proficiency.
All right.
Plus
so
1.
This is my other piece: is that Wall of Flame requires no roll. It just works, but so that's a judgment call again. I got the tough questions, you guys,
Yeah.
because I do
No,
Daggerheart
that's fine.
every week. Wall
Yeah.
of
So, yeah.
Flame.
With that, just make a spellcast roll.
Right,
Just make a
fantastic.
standard spellcast roll, just to
Of course, to see. Yeah.
be consistent with the mechanic of what tag team rolls are.
Delia, be thinking about what you want a Wall of Flame to empower your big bitchin' attack. Okay, you can spin it however you want.
So we're both rolling attacks right now and taking the higher, right? Can I add an experience to my attack?
Yeah, if you would like.
I'm
just
gonna
spend
spend
the
a hope. Yeah, to add my experience, killing me softly, which is what I hope to do right now.
16. I'm using my Bardic die.
19, 20, 21, 22. I got 22 again. Dang. 22
I got
with
a
fear?
20 with hope. This is the worst
It's up to you guys.
situation. Which do you want to use? I feel like it's got to have a high difficulty on it.
No, I'm thinking 22 fear,
Let's
personally.
go 22 fear. Let's go 22 fear. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Okay.
it hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and
Okay.
roll for your
So
damage.
with my increased proficiency, that means I take the damage from 2d10 plus 6 to 3d10 plus 6.
Correct.
Okay. And I get to add my unstoppable die, and I get, yeah, okay, cool.
So it should be a 4 right now. If I understand correctly. Or no, I don't know what your level is at right now.
Okay, 16.
So, and also this crit. Wait,
No, I rolled 3 8s on my d10s. So that's 20. So that's 30 physical. No, I haven't done any damage yet, and that's when the unstoppable die goes up. So I'm only a 1. So that's 31 damage.
You want to hear something crazy? Because
Yes.
my wall of flame does 40, 10 plus 3, so I did 32 points of damage. Literally.
63 points of damage.
Yeah.
That is going to be its severe.
Motherfucker! What does it look like, Delia? It's
Delia,
a wall of flame.
Yeah, it's a wall of flame, and all of a sudden this like bright blue flame comes shooting out of the middle as you see Delia just kind of go up in the air with her battle axe that is called the Briar Maw, but she calls Mama. And you hear her come down and she goes, "Meet Mama!" and just like crashes down on the Titan with all of her might, and then looks over at you and winks.
Will you give me a bard song moment?
Sure.
All right, I am like with my bow. Delia, you can try to sink a ship, but I'm the bard. I never seen an act like ours. I'd bet good money. Don't you wanna turn and run? We're just that hard. You might be a god, but baby, we're the baddies. Good luck, babe. Good luck, babe. You're gonna need a miracle to stop this party. And that's it.
Delia's doing her best Night at the Roxbury through all of that.
Right.
Chugsby's definitely.
With that
Bop.
roll with fear, though, the Titan is going to take his turn.
Yep.
Says,
Yep.
"Quit your yapping," as he just is going to attempt to grab a hold of you, Kora, on your. He's gonna grab a hold of you on your shoulder. Go ahead and make a agility reaction roll.
Well, listen, I have an agility of 0. That is a 7 with fear flat.
You are restrained as he grapples you. In the next moment, he is going to do the same thing and grab a hold of you, Delia. Go ahead and make another agility.
Except for
reaction.
I'm unstoppable, so I can't be restrained or vulnerable.
So, with that,
Guardians.
he attempts to grab a hold of you as you move across.
Gonna have to be faster than that.
He then takes Kora, as I'm going to use my third action, because I have a lot of that stacked up at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm about
And
to
she's
say,
just
I
going
don't-
to
I don't know how
chuck
much you have, but
Kora
it's gotta be a
at
lot.
the back at the ship. Following Kora, you see what looks to be a lightning bolt following behind. So Kora, with that, I need you to make another agility reaction roll as he throws you to see if you take full or half damage.
Okay, all right. Listen, you need to stop it over here. All right, that is going to be 12 with fear. I am going to mark stress to make it hope. I want you to not accrue more fear, okay?
I'm also going to burn my last paradise as I see Kora being thrown. I'm going to try to just maneuver my way to catch her. And I'm going to add a 4 to that.
For a total of 18, is that correct? 14 plus 4?
16, because it was...
Is it 12?
It was 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 12. 16.
not
A 16.
enough.
A 16. Oh,
As you
God.
take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14 points, huh? Okay, let's
Can
do it.
I
Physical.
I use I'm your shield with that then, since she's coming down?
What does that do?
An ally that is very close is going to take damage. You may mark a stress and stand in the way and take the damage instead.
So glad
Yeah.
you took that because I did
As
not.
you do so, yeah, you manage to kind of, in your kind of mech, run up, grab a hold of her, and you kind of absorb her into your shell. Your shell kind of takes a battering, but that is going to be 14 points of damage towards you, physical. With that,
Mark an armor and mark a hit point.
you then see what looks to be 3 barrages of lightning get sent, not in any one of your particular directions, but targeting the ship. As you just hear Seth, being there with the captain, seeing all this transpire, almost this kind of like intuition that you have. Can you make me an instinct reaction roll for me?
Yes, I can. Here we go. It's 22 with fear.
Me too, with fear.
Gotta quit giving him fear.
I know.
We gotta
You
stop.
kind of take a hold, seeing this. You pull the ship off to the left, taking a hold of it from the captain. As a lightning strikes and kind of narrowly misses. It's going to throw another one. I need you to make another instinct reaction roll with...
Okay,
Yeah.
that's only a 13 with fear.
13. As this one crackles, hitting the side of the ship, that's going to be 42 points of magic damage. As the ship, you then see the ship immediately start to emulate on fire. At the front end of the ship, you then also start to see portions of the front begin to crack. As Captain grabs a hold, you see one more bolt of lightning heading your way. As Captain says, grab the... As he hands you the seers, like, I trust you. As he jumps forward and is going to start making his way towards the fire. With that being said, I need you to make one more instinct reaction roll for me.
Come on, Chugs.
You have the bardic
This
die
time with
still?
disadvantage.
Well, that's gonna get you get the bardic die.
You can still use the
That
bardic die.
cancels.
So it's just, I don't roll any extra die.
Because the disadvantage would be a D6
Yeah, it would
minus,
cancel
and
it out.
the
Yeah,
rally
it would cancel
would
it out.
be a
If you want to
D6,
use it, so you can cancel out the
Yeah,
disadvantage.
I will
Straight
cancel
die.
the disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you add experience to reaction rolls?
Yes, you can. Any duality roll, yep. You just don't gain hope
Okay.
and fear off of reactions.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is me like controlling or steering the ship, correct? So I'm gonna use my experienced sea legs for days just to like stabilize myself on this like tumultuous ship deck and just try and that's gonna add 2 to this. So I'm adding 4 total. Yeah, that's an 8 with fear.
Oof.
With fear. At this point, the lightning strikes the ship. Captain running towards the fire, attempting to put it out as members of the crew start kind of running off to the sides, trying to figure out what to do, what is left. A lot of them even taken aback at Delia and Kora having go right up front to
Can I
this
add
titan.
a little
Sure.
something here? I think in this moment, I don't think Chugsby has like steered this ship. He has wanted to be on the ship, be a member of this crew for years and years, and only in the last year or so has become a part of it. And so I don't think he's ever been at the helm. And I think like just the action of seeing the captain leave the helm is just complete distraction as he's kind of locks up.
Yeah. And in that, lightning does not strike twice unless it is guided by some being. As it hits that same exact point, you then begin to start hearing the cracking of wood as it begins to split. Crack, crack, crack. The ship kind of falls off to the middle. Immediately you start hearing abandoned ship. As the captain was running, you saw the flash of lightning, and the captain is no longer on board. As you look around, everyone's scrambling off to get to the safety vessels to try to do some semblance of everything that's to try to survive anything else now that the scapegoat is for sure going down as it splits. Borg kind of hops on, tries to grab a hold of you, Grick, and taking you towards a life raft. What do you do, Grick? It's falling. The scapegoat is going down.
What's everyone else doing at this point?
You see Chugsby frozen at the helm, Kora in your hands, Delia somewhere up above, but you have but a moment.
I'm going to throw Kora into the lifeboat for now, and I'm going to run to Chugsby.
Yeah. Running up to Chugsby, you getting your way up.
As you
He's just up there like spinning the helm. No.
As you're running away, Grick, I say, go get him, Grick. And I want to give you inspirational words, and you're going to gain a hope. I'm going to spend a token to let you gain a hope.
I'm just going to grab Chugsby under one arm and grab Shriek under the other and start to head towards the edge of the boat.
Yeah. As you do so, make a strength roll as you run towards the last remaining lifeboat. While you make that roll, Delia, Seeing the scapegoats begin to fall, the Titan unfazed as seeing that the 3 lightning strikes were enough to separate it, continues on with this storm that he is summoning.
I'm going to clock where my friends are from this vantage point and immediately begin to fly down towards them. I'll cast one more look over my shoulder at him and just say, bullies never win, and fly off.
Unbothered, didn't even hear what you said, just continues down. But as you begin flying down, you are moving as fast as you possibly can, but it took an amount of effort to just get up to this beast, or this Titan. I need you to make an agility reaction roll to see if you make it before the ship fully severs. Grick, what did you roll with that strength?
I got a 20 with hope.
You manage to kind of jump off into the lifeboat. It's just you, Borg, Kora, Chugsby, and Shriek on this boat. As Borg notices and recognizes that you all 3 of you are on, along with Shriek, he grabs this like crude like longsword, cuts into the rope that's holding on the life raft as it just begins dropping. You're unsure of where the captain is, what may have happened to the rest of the crew, hoping that at least they got on the other lifeboat on the other side of the vessel. You guys crash into the ground, or into the water. Delia, what'd you get?
20 with fear.
You make your way to the boat. You saw the members of the crew that you were closest to off board with Borg onto the right side ship's safety vessel. What are you doing? The only one able to fly in this moment.
I think that I'm looking for... So I've clocked my friends, right? I know where they are, and that's ultimately where I'm heading towards. Do I see the captain?
Make a instinct roll. When you look around.
Don't think that's going to be good enough. That's going to be a 9 with hope.
The beams kind of cracking at this point. The sounds of various, the 3 masts at this point falling completely. You see one portion of the ship that's already gone under. The rest of it kind of is slowly floating and about to be fully submerged. You look around at the surface and kind of try to duck and dive in between some of the little cracks that used to be rooms that you've all slept in, looking for the captain. You weren't there, and you didn't see when the lightning struck, as your eyes were fixed on the Titan. But you don't see anyone else. You eventually kind of take the next couple moments to piece through some of the fallen pieces of rubble and debris, kind of checking if there's any bodies.
I'm screaming from the lifeboat for Delia. Like, she's my best friend, and I cannot see her. She's gone back into the wreckage of the ship. I'm like in a futile way trying to cast more time lock to keep the ship from tearing further, but it's just not working.
There's so many different points that are being separated at the same time. You scream out, Delia, you spot your friends. No current other survivors. Borg at this point doesn't even put the oars up. Just turns to you all and says, "No point to fighting the waves. Let the waves guide us, and when they stop, we can look for land." And that's where we'll end this prologue. So, if you want to see what happens next, and where these adventurers, these pirates, these members of the Scapegoats land, check out Session 1, coming soon.
From ink and steel, stories are forged. We are BladeBound Saga.